Hey guys, how you doing? This is Keon Corniff, also known as Mr. Finance. Oh man, I'm so excited to come on here today and share with you guys a little bit of history and understand a little bit more about you know what is this whole movement about, what is BSHYNAZ about, and what is everything about. And I'm so happy to tell you the movement is growing. The movement is coming on strong. We've come a long way. We've evolved in such positive, uplifting, motivational, and doing some real great things, not only for the community, but also within society as one. And for a lot of you guys that don't know my history, coming from the background that I come from to where I am today is truly a blessing. To make this transition into becoming an outstanding person and just want to be uplifting the community and giving people opportunities and learning and showing everybody that, hey, if I could do it, you could do it. Because I tell you this much, the story about BSHYNAZ's legacy, it's a very unique one, and it's one that a lot of people could look at and say, you know what, I can do that too. Because what started off as just something that me and my friends came up with, God knows, over what, seventh grade. And we first just came up with the word, and then we started learning about history and we understand a little bit more. And then researching a word called SHYNAZ is when I finally was able to discover what it truly meant. And it was a Persian word. And that Persian word really expand the horizon a little bit more and give it a little bit of meaning. And that's the reason why when I was I don't know if I wouldn't suggest you guys to do this, but when I turned 18, I had a revolution from I was a child. And I told myself that I never wanted to work for anybody, and I sure not going to put on a suit and tie and work for anybody in corporate America, period. And I said the one way I can guarantee that I can never ever work for someone is by putting tattoos on my hands, right? And I said there's no way corporate America or anybody will hire me so I could come work for them if I had these tattoos on my hand. And at 18, it sounded like a great idea at the time, and I don't regret it, and that's the reason why I never remove it. Even though I could have, and in many times I could always remove them. And I kept it because it reminded me of what I stood for and what I stand for and what I meant. And I made sure that there was no plan B for me. I was all in at 18. At 18, I was all in. I was like, I ain't turning back. I ain't coming back. I'm not trying to be corporate America. I'm not trying to work for somebody. I'm all in, right? Now, like I said, I would suggest you guys to do that. I was just a rebel with a cause, right? So that's where my journey of entrepreneurship really came from. Yeah, I can only imagine. A lot of you guys are like, this guy's crazy, right? So let me tell you, it sounded like a great idea at 18, all right? You can't judge me. I was 18. I was an ambitious 18-year-old trying to conquer the world, trying to do everything in this world. And and I said, you know what, I just want to do something better, and I didn't want to work for nobody. And that's how I started my journey with originally BSHYNAZ, right? So took BSHYNAZ and started off with music entertainment, right? I was in the music and entertainment field for a while. Did our thing, club nights, parties, right? A lot of people know KOC, one of the best parties ever kept in New Jersey, period. I don't think no one could take that title from me, right? Nobody can take that title from me. I had the best parties ever. You want to have a good time? Come to a BSHYNAZ party, right? So, did the club thing for a while, took it from that scene, took it to that level, did the music thing for a while, and then got into clothing. Like a lot of you guys don't know, actually, he's on. Perfect. Kerwin, right? Kerwin, that's my cousin in Jamaica, right? Kerwin, how long I love fashion, right? How long I've been into fashion and into art. And if you guys don't know, you're looking at one of the best artists right there, man. That guy right there, he used to draw, and we would try to copy him. Me and my cousin Kevin would try to draw and try to copy him, but he's a master artist. But I always was into fashion. I was always into clothing. I was always into, you know, make things look great and stuff like that. And I said, you know what? I started the clothing line. I started BSHYNAZ Clothing. And that's when I took that off, and that was going well. And I don't know what happened. I think it was just life, right? We all go through these ups and downs in life. And I had a revolution that happened to me. Exactly, see? Right, Korea, BSHYNAZ ENT, exactly. So I had a revolution, and I said, you know what? I don't want to be in the music industry. I don't want my kids to grow up in that type of environment. And guess what, guys? I ended up going to get a job. I end up go working for somebody. All the things I didn't want to do, right? 18, got the tattoo on the hands. Don't want to work for nobody. I end up having to go get a job. And me getting that job was the best thing because it made me leave a lot of things behind that I didn't want to be a part of anymore. And I said, you know what? I'm going the straight edge way. I'm doing it the right way. Going about my life this way. And I want to be an example to my son because I just became a father. So I said, this is the route I want. I don't want my kid to think this is cool or he want to pursue. Because remember, guys, as fathers, no matter what you think, our kids look up to us, you know, as the head of that household, regardless if you're with the spouse or not. You are the head of that household. You are that Superman to that child. So that child will kind of follow within your footsteps or at least look at you as a guide. And I said, I didn't want my son to go down the music route. I didn't want my son to really get into that lifestyle or feel that he has to, you know, portray a lifestyle that he never lived. But you could go off your daddy's background and say, oh, my daddy was this, my daddy was that. And no, I didn't want that to be him. I wanted him to be the kid that grew up in the suburbs. I wanted him to be a great kid. And I said I want to change my life completely, and I did that, right? So I went and got the job thing, worked my way up through corporate a little bit, did a little bit of that for a while, worked supermarkets, right? Warehouses, cook, and progressed, right? And then just when I was literally about to go to bed, I was getting ready to go to sleep, right? And I got a phone call, and that was Sheldon. Sheldon gave me a call. And Sheldon was like, man, I need you to come check out this thing, see if it's legit. You know, I don't know if it's legit or not. Come check it out and let me know before I get started. So I said, cool, I'll come down and check it out for him, right? I came down, check out the company, and I was like, all right, this sounds legit. It sounds legit. And it was further throughout the presentation that I was like, okay, it sounds legit. It sounds actually legitimate. And that's when I got introduced to World Financial Group. But did you know before the World Financial Group though, when I was 19 years old, 18, 19, I was actually a part of Amway. Yeah, a lot of people never knew that. I actually used to do Amway. And if you know Excess Energy Drinks, I was that guy. And let me give you a shout out to anybody that's in Amway, right? If you're in Amway, I'll give you this. If you have Excess Energy Drinks, right? Let me tell you, I used to be such a great presenter because I would go to nightclubs and I would say, hey man, you're buying these Red Bulls. Look at all the sugar. Look at all the sugar that is inside the excess in the Red Bull compared to Excess Energy Drink. And I said, hey, let's taste both of these things at the same time. They tasted, they said, which one tastes better? They said, well, the Excess Energy Drink. I said, all right, great. Let's mix it now with the same thing you mix. Red Bull and vodka. Let's do Excess and vodka. Which one tastes good? And you guess what? They'll pick Excess every time. So that's how I used to actually move a lot of units with the Excess Energy Drinks through Amway. The reason why I left Amway, no shade, I'm just saying why I didn't fall in love with it all the way, is I asked a question. Remember, I'm an ambitious man. I'm an ambitious black man. And I went up to him one day after learning about overrides and all these things. And I said to him, hey, is there a way that I could ever beat that guy at the top? And he said, well, not really, but you could be where he is. I was like, no, but can I ever beat him? Can I ever get over him? And he said, no. And I was like, At that moment, I know that wasn't for me because I don't like being underneath nobody, period. Right? So once I learned that I couldn't beat him, I couldn't pass him, and I was like, that's not the opportunity for me. And I walked away from it, even though I was doing good with just excess energy drinks throughout nightclubs and stuff like that. And I walked away from that. And like I said, that's when I got introduced to this because my cousin showed that he thought this was one of those things as well, right? So it wasn't one of those things. And when I heard about licensing, all the requirements that is required to get started within our firm, I said, you know what? I remember I asked a question. I was like, hey, can I ever pass you? That was my question. You know, when people would ask like, hey, how much money you can make? I just asked one question. I said, hey, can I pass you? And the guy said to me, yes, if you work your butt off. And I was like, good. As long as I know I could pass you, I'm in. Because that's what I knew, that it wasn't like one of those, I don't like to say pyramid scheme, because it's not so much of a pyramid scheme. It's more of where you're captive no matter what. Like, you could never pass the top guy. So once I learned that this wasn't that, I was like, good. Because that's when I know that it wasn't just a multi-level marketing. And that moment I was like, whew, thank God, right? So I told my cousin, I was like, yo, we got to get involved. Got involved, fast forward, right? So how did BSHYNAZ come about now? So when I started building my partners and having people join what people call a team, and we were building our team and building our movement, I was like, well, I can't call the team Black SHYNAZ because everybody's not black. And I was like, but what can we do still? Because the word SHYNAZ is a very powerful word. And I'm going to get to that shortly and tell you what it means. So I was like, what can I still have that incorporate BSHYNAZ? Right? And I was like, it was just literally just one day, I was just sitting there drawing out different ideas, and I came up with BSHYNAZ. So that's why you see the apostrophe there, where the B, boom, apostrophe, and then SHYNAZ. And a lot of what the B stands for is the BSHYNAZ, like BE SHYNAZ. So what I'm telling people is you got to be SHYNAZ. And the word legacy after it is just the legacy of the rootage of how far it come from, right? The legacy of how it have evolved and evolved me and evolved the people around me, of how this has come to life. And that's how BSHYNAZ came, because BSHYNAZ was the evolution of what Black SHYNAZ is. And it became so much more, not just about a black thing, but then it became inclusive, and it became a movement from all nature where we all could be SHYNAZ, right? And the word SHYNAZ is a very unique word, but it's spelled in a very different way, just to pretty much to give it a uniqueness. But for you that don't know, you probably look at it and say, SHYNAZ, SHYNAZ. What does that mean? But really, the nature of the word comes from the word SHYNAZ, right? SHYNAZ. And if you know the word SHYNAZ, then you will know what SHYNAZ came from. Because the word SHYNAZ is a SHAHNAZ. And that's where the word SHYNAZ came from, right? So I know a lot of you guys are looking like, what? So if you Google that word, what you will come to find out is that that word SHYNAZ is actually a Persian word, and what the word stands for is king's pride, right? It stands for king's pride. The word Shah stands for king, and the word NAZ stands for pride. And if you don't know, now you know, right? So that's how the word BSHYNAZ came about. So what I'm saying is that B, king's pride, is the legacy, right? And the legacy is us raising up our men and our society to understand that the only thing that could be a king's pride is our woman. Ah, you see? See, now you understand it. SHYNAZ really stands for women empowerment, That's why when you look at my movement, it's over 95% of females, because, you know, I was raised by a single mom. I've been around, most of my aunts were single moms, and I watched many of my family members were single moms, and I said, you know what? Why is this way, right? Why is it like this? And what can I do? And I always had a very soft spot for that, because that's one of the reasons why I moved the way I move, because I don't believe in certain things. I'm all about uplifting women than bringing them down, right? Now, one of the things that the word BSHYNAZ really goes behind is the fact that when you think about it, SHYNAZ, like I said, S-H-A-H stands for king, and the N-A-Z stands for pride, so king's pride. And if you think about it, what is the king's pride? The king's pride always been his woman, his queen, right? And it's all about protecting the queen, because let me tell you, a king will go to war for his queen. A king will he will die for his queen, right? But at the same token, if you don't empower the woman, then the woman cannot empower her children. And let me tell you, a nation starts with a woman, because a woman upbringing the child will determine if that child will become a peasant or a king. And if we don't empower our women to raise our young kings and queens, then we will never be able to push forward as a generation. So it's all about women empowerment. So BSHYNAZ legacy, the legacy have become to always protect and empower women. And that's why BSHYNAZ legacy will be the movement of every woman's choice. Because at the end of the day, we're here to build up a very great environment and create a movement. That's why I said BSHYNAZ legacy is not a team, it's a movement. That's all it is. And one of the things that we want to do is that, you know, with such great platform that I'm a part of and I'm associated with, one of the greatest teams within World Financial Group, World System Builder. I'm a proud World System Builder, and I carry that very proudly. And I'm so fortunate to be a part of a company that we have the #1 female brokers in the entire financial industry. Right? So when the financial industry is actually a male-dominated industry, our company is known for having the #1 female brokers in the entire, not just in our company, but the entire financial industry. We have empowered more women, and I fell in love with that. And I said, you know what? That stands for what I stands for. That represent what I represent, and that's why I fell in love. And that's the reason why when people say, man, Keon, you should be a part of my company, or Keon, man, you'll be a great asset to us. Oh, man, Keon, you're such a good speaker. You're such a great presenter. I understand you and I hear you, but I can't fall in love with you. I just think that financial education right now is the greatest way to empower a woman. And it's not just financial education. It's the fact that they're in an environment where they see other women like themselves. And that's powerful. Let me tell you, when I see women come together and move as one versus trying to tear down each other, that's such an empowering thing, because us fellas as men, we can really take an example of that. And we should really start paying attention to that, because let me tell you, that's the only way we're going to progress forward. Remember, the legacy is to move forward, guys. And I'm a forward moving guy, and I'm all about pushing the movement forward. And that's the reason why I planted my flag with World System Builders, because no matter what, you know, World System Builder is like the Mecca for me. You know, that's home. That is where it's at. You know, that's the Mecca for me, right? And my movement, BSHYNAZ legacy, goes very hand to hand with what the Mecca stands for. And that's why I believe so much in my mentor, Swan Wynn, Alicia Wynn, and many great other leaders within our campaign. And this campaign is not just about finance, guys. It's a movement. It really is a movement. And that's what BSHYNAZ legacy really stands for. And, you know, I hope you guys have a better understanding now. And now when you see BSHYNAZ legacy, you have a different light, right? So what I want to tell all my brothers, and I want to tell all my sisters and everybody that's watching this, just remember that you are King's Pride, right? BSHYNAZ. So my question to you is, are you going to be a SHYNAZ, right? Fellas, are you going to make sure that our ladies are SHYNAZ, right? Are you going to make sure that they're NAZ? Are they our pride? We're going to protect them. We're going to uplift them. We're going to push them forward, right? And we're not going to try to bring them down and tear them down. So let's keep lifting up each other. Let's do the same thing for all our kings too, queens, right? Let's push the men up too, because if they're in a better position, then they'll put you in a better position as well. So everything is about just doing great for everybody, and everybody could win. I believe that everybody could make it at the top. All of us could make it at the top. We are one of the greatest countries in the world, guys. All right, despite everything else that's going on, this is one of the greatest countries in the world. And the reason why I say that is not based upon the people, but it's based upon the opportunities that you could have access to, right? Coming from, I'm not from here, I'm from Jamaica. And coming from Jamaica, not that I'm saying Jamaica don't have opportunities, what I'm saying is that America have a lot more opportunities, and it gives you a lot more resources to use to create these opportunities much quicker at a much faster rate. Because you have people from all over the world coming together, putting their mind together, and creating a greater solution for everybody to win. And that's why I love my opportunity. That's why I love my company. That's why I love our movement, because we create an opportunity where everybody's a win-win. You joined our campaign, you qualify for that, guess what? You win-win. You come here, you learn about finance, you learn how to manage your money, and at the same time, you learn how to make some money for yourself at the same time on a part-time basis. I looked at that opportunity and I said, man, that's what made me fall in love with it. So it wasn't just about the money, but it's really about the movement. And this movement could be very powerful if you applied it. And that's why our national campaign for financial literacy is really a movement. It's not just a team thing. It's not a I thing. It's a we thing, right? So team. Remember what team stands for, right? Team stands for together, everyone achieve more, right? Together, everyone achieve more. And as long as we move together, we can achieve more together, right? And it's all about coming together, putting aside our differences and our own oppositions, and look for the optimistic movement forward of how we can make each other win. The goal is to win, everybody. The goal is to win. It doesn't matter where you're from or who you are. As long as you want to win, I want to win with you. And I want to help you to win. That's what it's all about, right? So, once again, BSHYNAZ, you know, it's a movement. It's not a team thing. It's a movement. And you don't have to be in the team to be a part of the movement. As long as you stand for something positive, as long as you stand for something uplifting, as long as you're an optimistic person, as long as you're a positive person, I want to be around you. I want to mastermind with you. And I want to talk about how can we progress as people forward, and let's get each other to the top, right? So that's all it is, guys. So I hope you now be a SHYNAZ, right? And definitely be a part of the movement and join the movement, right? Join the movement, and let's empower each other along the way, all right? And definitely reach out to me at any time. If you ever have any questions, you're more than welcome to be a part of that conversation, right? And I love to talk to you guys. The next time I go live, I want to talk. I'm going to have like a real conversation where you guys can ask me anything. And I'm going to actually have a live stream where I want to talk to you guys, and I'm going to bring on different people, have conversations, and interact, right? Because I want to do this more and definitely share this with you guys. So with that said, guys, I just want to tell you that, hey, you're one decision away from changing your future for the better. So always remember, the choice is yours, right? My name is Keon Corneff. Some call me Mr. Finance. And I just want to tell you that you're awesome, you're great, you're unstoppable, and yes, you're forever blessed and very fortunate and highly favored, all right? So thank you guys. I love you all. And I'll probably see you guys later, or maybe tomorrow I'll do another live stream, all right? I'm going to get back to work now. We got to call a lot of people and help them to save their future, all right? So thank you guys for tuning in. Love you guys. Rewatch this. Press the watch, what they call that, the watch thing where they played it over again. Share this with somebody, all right? Much love. Bye.